What's going on, man? We back for another episode, another week of the Life Zone podcast. What's good with you, man?
Hey man, ain't nothing. How about you, brother?
Great weekend of sports. We
Absolutely.
definitely excited to talk about this topic today with the game we just had yesterday and the game coming up tonight. Which for me, last night was actually going to be more exciting. Hopefully, I'm hoping tonight is exciting, but I got low expectations for it. I think last night's game. I don't think tonight's game will be able to top that.
You don't think so?
Nah, I don't think so.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out, man.
I got money on it too, so I'm hoping that's the case. I hope it don't live up to the expectation of what we'll get into that bet in a second.
Hey, as long as you can't get the win, I don't care about nothing else.
There it is. That's what I bet on.
Oh, see, you in the money tonight, bro.
Episode 51, man. What you got?
I got a few, but I'm gonna see where you at though. I don't want to steal your thunder. You know, I come with a curveball every now and then. Hint, hint.
I got two.
Hint, hint.
Oh, you said curveball. The number 51, there's only one curveball. And actually, it might not even just be a curveball. That thing going straight down the plate.
What you got?
Randy Johnson.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. Don't forget Bernie Williams, though.
Mm-hmm.
See, I knew you might have had one, so I had to come with a two. I had to come with two, just in case you get one of them.
Who you got in the NFL, though? Hall of Fame.
He played for the Steelers.
Nah. Well, he might. I'm not thinking about that. The Steelers. I'm just gonna get well-known Hall of Famer, linebacker of all linebackers. Played for the Bears.
Jonathan Vilma.
Dick Butkus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I give you that one.
I actually don't give me credit for that. Jeremiah gave me that. But
is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Wasn't Sam Mills 51 too?
He gave me that one too. Sam Mills, yeah.
Hey man, shout out. Definitely. Hey, rest in peace, my brother. Shout out to Sam Mills. This for you, dog. This for you.
Most definitely. Well, before we get into it, like every week, man, shout out to Appliance Medic, being our sponsor, Phase Consultant Partners. Like I said, man, it's about to get hot out there, depending on what part of the country you're in. Definitely get that AC checked out. If you're in Charlotte, hit them up immediately. I highly recommend it. The game this past weekend, man, I definitely a classic. Let me be honest and say this. I don't want to make it seem like I've been.
Hold on. When you say definitely a class, you talking about the men's and women's, or just men's, or just women's? What game you talking about specifically? Just a classic.
Yeah, so I think both were a classic. That buzzer beater, obviously, but then I think this weekend the most anticipated game by far was the Iowa LSU game.
Yep, ratings off the charts.
And let me be honest. I'm not one that follows college basketball like that, but when you got stars and you got a storyline to go with it, you immediately draw me in, right? And then you got good play to go with it, right? So you got Caitlin Clark as a once-in-a-lifetime talent. I think Angel Reese fits that narrative as well too. Really good game, man. Just what's your initial thoughts when you saw it? What'd you see as the difference in the game?
The difference in the game was shot making, right?
Yeah.
Because LSU was on fire.
Yeah.
First half, nobody could miss. Nobody. Like whoever shot the ball in the first half was buckets, right?
Yeah.
And the guard for LSU, I can't think of her name right now, but to come off the bench and drop 21 in the first half.
Carson.
Hey man, look, you don't. That's not what you counting on, right?
Yeah.
So for her to drop 21 and y'all go in at halftime up double digits.
Yeah.
Right? Hey man, look. It was one of those, like the championship game. I think Carson said it in the halftime interview, right? She was like, to be on this stage and perform like this is a dream come true for me.
Yep.
Right? What more can you ask for, man?
So backstory on her ex, we talked about the transfer portal last week, right?
Yeah.
Georgia Tech, West Virginia,
the whole LSU team, all the LSU, all but 3 players. Like they came with 9 new players off the portal.
Yep,
9.
Yep. I mean, the difference for me, like obviously, Reese played a good game. Carson played a good game. What's her name? Alexis Morris. She played a good game. She had 21 and 8. The difference. Go ahead.
Alexis Morris in the third and fourth.
killing,
that mid range,
killing. Yeah,
bro.
the difference for me is that Clark had less talent around her than LSU had. Just being honest.
Hey yo, so I'm on the couch, right? Me and Brittany on the couch. My mom was here. We all watched the game, right? And me, Brittany, my mom, we watched the Iowa South Carolina game, right?
Yeah.
And immediately, right, I kept saying to Brittany, and Brittany, she's not a sports fanatic, but she understands the game enough to understand what I'm saying to her, right?
Yep.
But I was telling her that LSU looked more balanced on offense
Yep.
than USC, right?
Yep.
And she agreed with that. She was like, yeah, because everybody on LSU can score.
Yeah.
Right. When you watch the LSU game, when you watch Iowa LSU, the Iowa players had to guard all 5 positions, right? Like guard them. When you watch Iowa play USC, they weren't even guarding 2 players.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So USC was playing 3-on-5 offensively, right?
Yep.
It's not gonna get it done at this level.
Yeah.
Final 4, everybody good. That ain't gonna get it done.
And I think the timing of the game helped too, right? Because LSU got to sit and watch how Iowa's going to play them, and they automatically came with the mindset, start with the coach, because the coach came out and said right up the gate, said, "You're not going to be able to do that with LSU because I can tell you this right now, make or miss, we're going to shoot the ball. We are definitely going to shoot the ball.
Everybody can score, yeah.
That's the difference."
Hey, shout out to Kid Monkey, man. Congratulations on that. Hey, number 4, you are now approaching past Summit territory. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Got 2 different teams to the Final Four. Yeah. So.
No, she got 2 different championships, bro. She won at Baylor too.
Yeah, yeah. So
you got Baylor too.
Gotta respect that. Okay, that's the difference in the game too, man. Like LSU shooting 64% from the 3, Iowa 46%, and then the rebounds. I think the kid, the girl Siano, Sonano, I think her name is. She had 6 defensive rebounds, 0 offensive rebounds. That board was cleaned up on the defensive side for LSU.
So I'm gonna let you speak on this, right? Because you're gonna be a little more diplomatic than me.
Yep.
In terms of officiating for the championship game. What's your take on that?
I mean, you could definitely tell that there were situations where they were forcing it to try to be too balanced. Instead of just making the right call, you saw a couple of makeup calls in there. I felt the beginning. I think we talked about this when I was out there walking the dog and you came out too. But they started out. I think they started out letting them play, and then it kind of got out of hand because when I was out there, you let me know. When I went outside, Reese had 0 fouls. And then when I'm outside, you come out, you like, man, she just got 2 fouls back to back.
Yeah, in a matter of 2 steps from the dog.
And that's after Sonano got in foul trouble. I think Caitlin Clark at this time had gotten foul trouble. So they were like, oh, no, we got to make this up, right? So I don't know. I kind of felt like they were too involved, to be honest.
Okay. So specifically, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
You saw the technical foul that Clark got. Right? Was it warranted or not?
I think I can see where they could give it a pass. I don't think it was warranted, honestly.
See, this is why I let you speak on that, right? Because you're the diplomat. I'm not.
Right.
I don't care who you are, and we all play basketball, right? Yeah. So me and you have played competitively at a high level, right? And when there are frustrations demonstrated that cause a delayed game, right? Take the ball. I don't care if you throw it into the scorer's table. I don't care if you throw it off to the sideline. You could throw it down the court.
Right.
It's a dead ball situation, and now you're touching the ball and getting rid of it. Like you're putting it out of reach for the official to continue to play.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
It's technical foul, bro.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't care who you are. Right.
That's fair.
But because it was her, right? And this is where I muted my television, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because to hear the commentators speak on it, right? They were saying, oh, you can't call that on her at this point in time in the game, right? Especially for the fact that it gives her 4th foul.
That's the narrative. Right? That's the narrative.
That's right. Hey, man. But I understand why they were saying it, and I understand who was saying it.
Right.
Right. But hey, look here. I don't care. Like I said, she shouldn't touch the basketball.
Do you think they would have said the same thing for Reese?
Hell no, they give her a technical foul. She's out of control.
Okay.
Blah 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 blah. And speaking of Reese, since you brought it up, bravo to you, Angel,
Yeah.
for being unapologetically you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you, boo boo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't let them change who you are, man. This is for her, right? And when she spoke on this, right, I'm glad she spoke on it. She touched on it head on. I'm glad she did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
For two reasons. One, we as African Americans in a corporate world are expected to manage our blackness, to put it politely.
Dumb it down a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
However, when we are put in situations, the exact same situations as our Caucasian counterparts, and we act the exact same way that they do,
mm-hmm.
we are wrong. Right?
Yeah.
So Angel Reese making sure Caitlin Clark saw that you can't touch me, put the ring on it. Like, let's not forget that Caitlin Clark was doing the same thing 2 weekends ago.
So are you buying the narrative that there is a slight difference in the act of how it happened?
Slight.
Are you? So have you heard about this?
I saw it. Yeah, I saw what happened. Like, I remember Caitlin Clark doing that.
No. I think let me go deeper and explain what I'm saying. So there are people, air quotes, people saying that there is a difference in how it happened. They're saying Caitlin Clark did it kind of like a breeze by situation. It wasn't following a player, whereas they're saying Reese was deliberately following.
Hey man, I don't care if I follow you. I don't care if Caitlin Clark walked into my locker room and did that. Follow me into the locker room with it. I promise you, when someone has the opportunity to follow her into the locker room with it,
mm-hmm.
it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
We can speak on, like, semantics don't matter, bro. Like,
right.
Tomato.
Yeah.
Right? Caitlin Clark was taunting her opponent when she did that.
Yeah.
Right? Angel Reese was taunting Caitlin Clark when she did that.
Right.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, the only reason why this is a conversation, let's bluntly be honest about this. Most people that are watching this game because it's on a big stage that may not even definitely follow women's basketball, but let alone probably don't watch basketball for the most part. Like, most people watch March Madness and these tournament games. Why? Because they become a national spectacle. The husband's pulling the wife in to watch, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And that's the only reason why they're watching. It's a story because of that. Most people that have played sports, this happens every day.
See, this is why me and you on the podcast, bro, because we are yin and yang.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna always put it in a diplomatic process.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to you raw.
Right.
Right. The reason why this is a story is because Caitlin Clark is Caucasian and Angel Reese is African American.
Yeah,
right?
That's part of it.
And like you said, the folks that are watching this is to me, this is Larry Bird, Magic Johnson 2.0.
100%.
Right? Everybody that's got a problem with what Angel Reese did was rooting for Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Right? And because Caitlin Clark lost, and then Angel Reese let her know, right, that she lost, and reminded her that, oh, she's our kids are watching this. She's a bad role model, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But the fact of the matter is, Caitlin Clark would have done the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Had she had won the game. She'd have been in Angel Reese's face talking about, you can't see me, blah, 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 ring, championship, yada, yada, yada.
And the most important thing, and I think you agree when I say this, I wouldn't have had a problem with it.
No, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't have had a problem with it.
Man, like you were alluding to, like, we all play basketball, man. And trash talking is a part of the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My man Marcus is talking about, like, Reggie Miller could have played in today's era. No, because you're not walking around doing this to play. No, you're not doing that. No. Right?
I went back. Go ahead.
Like Michael Jordan. Hey, man, he can't guard me. He can't guard me. Right? Come on, how many times Mike said that to a player? You can't guard me. Yeah. Kobe Bean Bryant, he can't guard me.
Listen, right? Man, the story I just heard the other day from Isaiah Thomas talk about Larry Bird. He said they was playing Great play, and Larry Bird came on the court. This great tip off, and Isaiah said, he came up. He said, "Hey man, who's guarding me tonight?" And he looked around, and I forgot who. This is before the Bad Boys really kind of formed together.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry Bird looked around. He said, "Man, you ain't got no brothers to guard me." He said, "Yeah, I don't think the white dudes you got in the squad gonna be able to do what I'm about to do."
With me.
You know what I'm saying? But Larry Bird, but him saying that, I'm okay with that because I understand what he's trying to say. I get
Absolutely.
it. But he can't. But today he can't say that.
Hey man, hey, we got stories. We can talk about this for days. Like we got stories of MJ walking into the Atlanta Hawks locker room.
Right.
Let Dominique tell you.
With the leather trench coat on.
Hey man. Hey, tell the old boy, hey dog, place him up tonight. You in trouble. Right? You walk past Dominique Wilkins to my man that's gonna be the two guard for the Hawks at the time. Hey dog, lace him up tight. It's gonna be a long night for you. Right?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Larry Bird, after winning three-point contest the year before, comes into the three-point contest locker room the next year with his jacket and warm-up still on. Talking about something, who shoot for second?
Right. No,
come on, bro.
No, the exact words he said, which one of you brothers is coming in second? That's the exact words that he said.
So trash talking a part of the game, man. So
been there.
Angel, congratulations, dog. And she's a PG County prospect.
Yep.
She's a Maryland kid, man. She was at UMD. Speaking of the portal, right? She's another one. She was at University of Maryland.
Yep.
For a couple years, transferred to LSU, championship.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? This transfer portal, man, is changing the landscape of college basketball.
Yeah. But here's the deal. I'm all about being a competitor, man. Like I'm super competitive. Mm-hmm. I lose in a game like that, I'm coming back strong next year. So Caitlin Clark, we get the blessing, and I do say blessing. We get the blessing of seeing Caitlin Clark play for another year, college basketball. She's gonna be okay. She got trash talk. She was on the opposite end of it this year. But next year, I'm sure if they, maybe they get the help of the transfer portal, bringing some other talent around or whatever. But listen, she gets to get back there next year if she can.
Hey, man, so the problem with Iowa is they were two-dimensional, where LSU was five-dimensional, right? Caitlin Clark is the one guard they got, and 25 down low is the only big person they got. And when those two go out, or if one of them is out, their offense becomes one-dimensional. Where LSU, Reed's going to rebound, right? The guards is going to shoot, and they're going to shoot at an efficient clip, right? They're not taking bad shots. They're not taking off-balance leaning threes, right? They're not taking, they're not doing nothing crazy, man. They playing within themselves and being efficient, right? Like, to see Morris consistently drive left or right, like hard drive left or right, pull up free throw line, elbow, like bucket, like that was like when she did it the first time, I'm like, oh, that's a good pull up. When I saw her do it the first time, I said that's a good pull up, right? And then when she did it the second time, I said, okay, she felt good the first time. But then to watch her do it 3, 4, 5 times, I said, oh, that's her shot.
Yeah,
that's what she did. Yeah. That's her, right? That was her go-to consistently, man. So, hey, congrats to LSU, bro. I wish I was in Louisiana right now. I see myself right now on Bourbon Street having me a couple.
Yeah, I know they get loose. Speaking of trash talk, Marcus joined the track. The chat here is talking about I still can't see him. Listen, Marcus, I was 7-11 against you. 7-11.
Always open.
Always. 7-11.
Hey man, that's
shout out to Marcus, bro. Man.
Yeah,
shout out to Marcus.
Absolutely, man. That dude funny right there.
Who you got tonight, man?
Oh, I'm going with UConn, man. I got to go with the hometown kid, bro.
So
you know Morrison. Jordan, the guard out of UConn, and injuries that they're cousins, bro.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, man. So I gotta stick with the home team. I'm rocking the We All One right now.
Yeah.
That's like I'm DC for life, man. I'm always happy to see my folks shine.
UConn favored by 7.5. I feel like the slipper gonna fall off of San Diego State tonight. I feel like definitely more than 10 points for sure. UConn gonna win the game, but I am interested to see. If I do happen to lose the bet, I am excited to see if San Diego State. I told you before Final Four even kicked off. By far, the best defensive team in this in the left in this tournament is San Diego State. By far, and they've shown.
Hey man, right.
So I'm curious to see what they're going to be able to do to slow UConn down. Not that UConn has an overly fast tempo team or not, but I am curious to see how that flows out.
Well, I don't see it being I don't see San Diego State winning this game. I can't. I just can't see it. Yeah. I mean, unless UConn has a bad night shooting the basketball, I just can't see it.
It's funny you say that because I said the same thing about Alabama too. When they beat Alabama, I said the same thing.
Right, they gotta have a bad night shooting the basketball, man, in order for them to win. And I just can't see it, man. I understand that San Diego State is tough defensively, but I just feel like UConn is offensively balanced and they're just more efficient, right? Their offensive stuff, they're not one-dimensional, right? They don't have to rely on one person to create and do everything on offensively, right? Their offense is generated for this. So I feel like they're in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got Jackson, Hawkins, you got Newton, Klingon, Sanago. You got a lot of bodies. They're really deep. I mean, they can play like 10 players.
And they got guys that wipe the board. So if they having a bad night, he gonna have 20 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I just got them taking this one. I got them winning with these as long as they. I mean, they still got to play defense. Don't get me wrong. With San Diego State, you got to respect them offensively. I just feel like there will come a time in the game where San Diego State goes dry offensively, where UConn can build that lead and then just ride that to the end.
Well, like I said, I'm interested to see it, but listen, NCAA, man, if y'all listen to the podcast, please do me a favor. College basketball and college football, do me a huge favor. I am 44 years old. 9:20 tip off. Bruh.
You gotta work. Man. You gotta work Monday morning.
Yeah, 9:20 tip off. Come on, I'm 44, man.
Hey, bro, you say that like because I forgot what I was doing. Like, so I'm thinking I'm not paying attention. I ain't checked the clock. I didn't check the lineup. I didn't do any of that, right? So I'm thinking that it's Sunday afternoon. The championship game ain't coming on until Sunday evening.
Yeah.
All right. I'm flipping through the channels at 3:00, and the game is on. I'm like, what?
Right.
What?
Listen, I understand today is a weekday, right? Man, at least give me a 7:20. Like right now, the game is on right now. 8:00.
8:00 would be probably perfect.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, the game need to be over by 10 so I can go to bed. 10:30. You know what I'm saying? So I can go to sleep. But the 9:20 tip, you're gonna be up till midnight, bro. You're gonna be up till midnight.
Killing me with that, man. Yeah, so that's the college side of things, man. I hit my man Greg up, text him, so we're gonna be talking. Yeah, I kind of slipped this one in. You ain't know about this, but I want to talk about the 49ers real quick. So in their quarterback room right now, they got Sam Darnold, Trey Lance, and Brock Purdy. And John Lynch came out and said probably Purdy has earned the right to start. What's your thoughts?
Man, so this is what Jimmy Garoppolo did when he came in, right? He played a few games, they won, right? And next thing you know, he was their go-to, right?
Yep.
Given the fact that Trey Lance, where he got drafted, healthy, like you got to give him some, like, at this level, confidence matters, right? And when you are telling this guy, we don't believe in you, right? What motivates him to go out and perform? Like, I understand we're getting paid, I understand you're professionals, and I understand. But at this level, you have to give your guy every chance to succeed. And that includes letting him at least feel like you believe in him. And if I'm Trey Lance, you guys don't believe in me. Like, I don't have that confidence. Like, that mentally at this level, that bothers me. You know what I'm saying?
So here's my take on that. When they were talking about during the middle of the season, I think Aaron Rodgers maybe was hurt, or they were planning to kind of shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
And they were asking about Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
And my man was like, you guys want to look at what we see on the field on Sundays, but have you ever taken account what we see in practice every day?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see what Greg would say about this. And I saw Trey Lance play at Arizona. I can't remember if they won, but I think that game maybe it's like 10-9 or something like that. And I know it was early, whatever. And I'm one of those guys, X, that when I see it, I know what I see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about him. I never knew about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know when Brock Purdy got in the game in big moments, he shined. The offense moved.
I hear you, man. And obviously I've watched the 49ers enough to understand how their offense works, right? And I've seen them be productive with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, right? So I think that whoever starts in San Francisco is going to be successful as long as their running game is what it is, right? Yeah. So I think, in my opinion, their running game is what makes that offense productive, right? Mm-hmm. The versatility in their running game. Yes, the quarterback has to throw for a first down every now and then. I get that, right? But the quarterback in that offense is not. He doesn't have to be Aaron Rodgers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't have to. Yeah. He ain't got to do everything. Right. He ain't got to throw people open. He ain't got to do none of that. He just got to get the first down when we need you to.
But he can't be Sam Darnold either. And he can't be Trey Lance. What I saw in Arizona, he can't be that.
Man, I'll put it to you. So I hear what y'all saying, man, and I'll be honest with you. Sam Darnold in that offense that is offensive, like that is run dominant, I think will be successful. Because he's not throwing it every down. You just got to throw it when we need you to. When San Francisco throw the ball, it's to keep the defense honest. They're not throwing the ball to, like, they don't have, like, you can, if you throw a big play, you don't make it, that's cool. We still gonna get a first down. You can try it again in the next 4 downs, right? So that's how I view that offense. But I'm like you, man. I would love to see what Greg says.
Well, he's texting me right now. He said Trey is going to be QB1 all out season while Brock recovers.
Hey, Greg, we don't need no text messages during the chat, bro. We need you to get in and get on the live feed and give us some feedback in the comments.
Shout out to my man, Greg. Listen, man. It's going to be interesting. I agree with you. Like, they've got a juggernaut over there where they don't need somebody. They're not in our position. Right. We definitely need a quarterback, right?
Right.
But I think that'll work during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But when it gets to the playoffs, I'm always like, playoffs is good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, regular season is good. But when you get in the playoffs, the windows get tighter. The stuff you're accustomed to doing, things got to be a little bit different. Mm-hmm. And there's going to come those 1 or 2 plays, those 1 or 2 opportunities where that run ain't working. And they're going to need that big throw, which is what happened in the Super Bowl with Jimmy. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, so that's where the difference is going to be. And it's going to be interesting. Now, again, I think they feel confident in Brock Purdy. Now it's about – yeah, go ahead.
So when you say that, right, in the playoffs, so to me, the difference is, like you said, regular season, we don't need a lot from you, right? Okay. But what happens is when you're in the playoffs, right, and you got to go 80 yards in a minute and a half, the run game ain't going to do it. Right. And in that scenario, I don't care if it's Trey Lance. I don't care if it's Brock Purdy. I don't care if it's Sam Darnold. Yeah. None of those quarterbacks will get it done. In a 2-minute offense, fourth quarter playoffs. That's just my opinion.
In NFC?
Now, so apparently they think that Brock Purdy gives them the best chance to win in that scenario.
I'm agreeing with that. Like, to me, I agree with him because, listen, confidence-wise, what I saw, and I saw a lot of 49er games last year. Bet on them a lot last year. And what I saw with Brock Purdy is what I like to see in the quarterback as far as being confident, getting the ball down. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't have that feeling with Trey. I just didn't.
I got you.
It felt like he was lost. Like given Brock Purdy's first game, and I saw Greg was saying Arizona was his first career start. Yes, true. But when I see Brock Purdy's first start versus his, it's a whole different ballgame.
I hear what you're saying, man.
But here's the blessing, X. We get to see it. We get to see it on the field.
I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to
it. Yeah. What else you got, man? You want to talk about Kyrie?
And Luka?
Yeah. You want to talk about that?
Both of them?
Yeah.
Bro, you can't, like, if I'm an average fan right now, and y'all talking about shutting them down, what?
Luka doesn't seem like he enjoys basketball no more.
Huh?
Luka don't seem like he enjoys basketball right now.
Hey man, you think that's a Kyrie effect?
I don't think my man enjoys basketball right now. Same way, James Harden wasn't enjoying basketball with Kyrie. James Harden wasn't enjoying basketball with Kyrie. Jason Tatum wasn't enjoying basketball with Kyrie. How many people I need? How many more I need to name?
Keep going.
It's a long list.
Kevin Love, LeBron.
Yeah.
Hey man, we're talking about the world is flat and like all like Kevin Durant and James Harden, all these dudes, man. Hey, look.
Said the world is flat.
Hey man. So when one person says, hey man, something about this dude I can't agree with. Right. Okay, that's one person. Right. That's fine. No big deal. Right. Two people said you start to think about it a little bit. What's going on here? Right. But then when you got 3, 4, 5 say it, hey, bro, there may be some truth to it at that point.
And listen, let's forget saying it, X. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
The record shows when my man joins a team, the ship sinks. It just sinks. It's either he don't play or for whatever reason, he's distracted to play because of something that's happening off the field. I mean, off the court.
Right.
It just seems to always work out that way.
Hey, man, when the Mavericks picked them up, they were, before Kyrie, I think they were like 5th or 6th in the West.
6th seed, yeah.
Right, and after Kyrie, they're 11. Something's amiss.
If we was to have Jason Kidd on the pod, like, hey man, I appreciate you guys just talk to me in private and cut the live off. What do you think my man be saying right now?
Get this guy out of here. Get this guy out of here. Yeah. There's only one coach in the locker room, and that's me. Get this guy out of here.
Listen, James, this is where I lost it, man. My man James Harden was talking, saying he had a locker right beside Kyrie. Said he in there doing his pregame ritual, getting his mind right, listening to his music. You know what I'm saying? Stretching. All of a sudden, he starts smelling smoke. Look around. My man doing the sage in the locker room. And he said, man, this ain't basketball. I mean, he said, is at that point, I went to the front office and said, get me out of here. He said, not only did I request my locker to be moved, I asked to be shipped the hell out of there. I need to go.
So when you bring that up, right? When I hear because what Kyrie don't understand with that kind of stuff, and I feel like maybe he do understand it, but he feels like he's more important, right? Because we all know every player has their own ritual pregame, right? And you can't interfere with that, regardless of who you are, right? So if your thing listen to music, you put your headphones on, you go to a corner, you listen to music. If your thing is stretching, you go somewhere where you by yourself, right? And you stretch, right? Everybody does their individual thing at some point, right? But this dude walking through the locker room with his sage up and down everybody's locker. Hey man, That voodoo don't work for me, dog. Get that out of here. Get out of here with that, man.
Hey, man.
Hey,
Listen.
so I understand James on that. Hey, man, get that voodoo out of here.
Listen, man. Anything else on NBA? What you think about Lakers right now?
Bro, I said this when the Lakers lost those 2 games controversially.
I know you're. I know where you're going. I know where you're
We
going.
talked, bro. I said this about 6 episodes ago.
You did.
Right? I said, hey, the league will find a way
to get
the Lakers in the playoff in the playing game. The league will find a way to get that done. And where we at now? We are 8th seed, dog. We are 8th seed. Hey, man. It's the Lakers. It's LeBron, right? It's just so like the viewership with the Lakers in the playoffs is off the charts.
I got a text from AD. He told me to tell you that when the season is over with, he will be on the pod, and you and him gonna have a talk. And he left it at that. He put ... at the end. So I don't know what that means. I'm just letting you know.
That means he got more to say. I'm here all day for it. Come, bring it. Street clothes. Come on, street clothes. Let's talk about it.
He said when he get on, he wants you to hear him say his name.
Rubber band man. Rubber band man. Come on with it with Mr. Band-Aid. Come on, man.
Give me my government name.
Man, you know what? He can come to my house and sit next to me on the podcast. I'm fine with that.
All right,
I'll send him my address. Matter of fact, since he texted you, you can send him my address with the podcast time on it. Come on and sit next to me. We
sit right next to you?
Yeah, that's right. I want to look him square in the eye when I say what I got to say. I want to make sure we eye to eye when I say it.
I'm going to ask you this every week, man, see if it changed. So, finals. Who you got?
In the NBA?
Yeah.
Hold on, man. Let's back up before we get to that, because I've been hearing some chatter. Right. About this MVP situation. I've been hearing a little chatter. I've been hearing a little chatter, man. You know, Jokic was the guy. But he done kind of backslid a little bit. He done missed a few games, yada yada yada. And you know, Embiid is still in the running, right? But there's somebody ahead of him, according to some insiders I know, right? Because of the fact that guy's team is ahead in the conference over Embiid's team. And when they go head to head, that guy has a better performance than Embiid does that particular night. Right.
We talking about Tatum?
Nah.
Who we talking about?
I don't want to mention his name.
I'll miss it.
But you would say I have a disdain for this guy.
I'm really lost.
In the Eastern Conference.
Oh, Giannis. Oh.
So somehow Giannis has come to the forefront of this MVP conversation based off of a performance he had last night, or night before last. Look at here, dog.
Listen, X. Here's my take on MVP, and I'm trying to get everybody to calm down.
We got the same take, but go ahead.
I get everybody to calm down this MVP thing. First of all, we got to recognize who's voting on these things, right? We got to recognize that first.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And then secondly, we got to understand that these guys all have their own criteria. No different when we had these debates about who's the greatest of all time. These guys got their own criteria. There's not a sheet that they go in front of and says, "Hey, you're selecting based off of this." They don't do that. These guys are not connected to that the way we think it is. That's just the way it is. And there's really no quote. There is a way to bet, and you can say who you could potentially say the favorite is, but there isn't like a list out there to say, kind of like the presidential run, to say, "Hey, here's a approval rating poll that says who's in the lead." It just doesn't work like that. So the Giannis one is shocking me if that's the case. But I posted in the group like 2 weeks ago. Y'all, I think everybody in the group disrespecting Embiid. Y'all heard what this man said. Embiid said he is more skilled than Olajuwon and more dominant than Shaquille O'Neal, and y'all laughing at this man. You got a problem?
I heard what you're saying.
You got a problem with Embiid?
This, right? I'll say this to that comment. I put it on Facebook. Said it when you put it out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can understand. I'm Embiid, right? I can understand why he thinks that.
He campaigning. That's what that is.
No. I understand why Embiid would say that about Hakeem, right? Hakeem's 15 feet in the end, dream shape. He do everything defensively. He do it like, but outside of that, right? Those were Hakeem's limitations. How and as Embiid saying, I could play inside, I could play outside. I play defense, I rebound. So therefore, I'm better than him. But that's not accurate.
Yeah, I would rather him say he shoots better than the King. He's not more skilled than the King. He's not.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So I understand his logic and his thinking in terms of Hakeem.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal? No, sir. Never ever. I don't care.
Right. I want to hear Shaq reply to that, by the way.
Shaq, he shouldn't, and I hope he don't, because he don't have to.
You know, Shaq don't miss. He ain't letting nothing go.
Yeah, Shaq's a little diplomatic now, man. He on TNT, so he may not engage, right?
What? Well, let Charles Barkley get a hold of that quote and see what happens. And
I'm sure Charles heard about it, and I'm sure when Charles get back to TNT, they discuss it during the playoffs. It may come up.
He gonna bring it up.
However, Shaq was ahead of his time, bro. Shaq was a problem.
Yeah, major.
And I don't care who you was. Hakeem will tell you Shaq was a problem. Mm-hmm. Patrick Ewing will tell you Shaq was a problem.
Yeah.
Like any dominant center or any Hall of Fame center that played with Shaq will tell you he was a problem.
Yep.
Right. Ain't too many folks saying that about Embiid on the basketball court, right? So when it comes to dominance, Shaq changed how the NBA does business. That's how dominant he was.
Yeah.
They went from one backboard standing by in the tunnel, right, to two, because he might take them both down. You see what I'm talking about?
And definitely in the East, you when he was in the East, you had to make sure you had at least 2, 3, 4 good big bodies.
He coming twice. He coming 2-3 times a year. So you never know. So yeah, man, like Embiid, like Shaq. Embiid is not in Shaq's class. He never will be. However, and the sad part to get back to what you said about who's voting. Giannis understands. So here's the political side of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Giannis knows who votes, which is why he's all smiles at the press conference. He answers all the questions. He's asking about your family.
Talk about Oreos.
Yeah. Like he's one of your homeboys in the press conference. Right? I don't care what you're talking about. How tough. As a matter of fact, he didn't even get tough questions because he's just that nice of a guy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he done butted you up at this point to where you're gonna go into your ballot and you're gonna be like, oh, it's tough. I'm gonna go with the guy I like. And that's Giannis. That's why he wins. Man, never mind the fact that he only got 3 moves offensively. Never mind that.
Hey, look, for all you guys listening to Thread right now, X does not. You heard he didn't even like say my man's name. He does not like Giannis.
I try not to say it when I don't have to.
He called me one day just to tell me he beat Giannis in 2K.
That's right. I'll take pride in that. That one little fact right there. NBA 2K, I wore him out.
So you knew all his moves.
Hey, never mind the fact that he was pushing my teammates into the crowd to get his dunk on 2K. Like, this is nuts, man. I don't understand it.
It's realistic. Yeah,
it was very out at that moment. I said, you know what, this game is a little too real for me. At that moment, he was like literally like giving them the serve at the right time to nudge them into the cameraman while he going to get his dunk. Oh man, get this out of here. Man.
Hey, when does the NFL schedule get released?
I want to say after the draft.
Okay. I want to do
once
something.
they figure out, once they figure out where the top guys are and how they can get them on TV.
I want to do something with the participation of the audience. I want to go through because we'll have enough runway before kickoff. I want to go through each division and predict records, win-loss records, and get everyone to jump in and help us out in that conversation, a little bit of back and forth and debate. And then you and I and everyone else, we're going to participate in a little division winner competition this year. And I'll figure out some kind of prize that comes, especially of the Life Zone podcast. We'll figure it out.
I got you. But yeah, that stuff doesn't even come out till after the draft. So they know what marquee players go where and then how to get them exposed television wise and all that stuff.
Yep.
But speaking of that, I'm gonna need me and you, sir. We're gonna sit down next. We're gonna sit down at the start of next year, the start of the NCAA season next year.
Okay.
Right. And I might need a loan for this.
Oh, right? Loan. Okay. All right.
I might need a loan for this, but I'm trying to get on that $100 bet you were talking about for San Diego State.
Yeah,
right? If you bet $100 San Diego State to make the Final Four or something, you said, I can't remember what it was.
145,000. Just pay. You bet 100 as long as they just make it, which they did.
Right.
Your payday would have been that. Actually, that's San Diego State and FAU. If you'd have bet on either one, you'd have had 145,000.
So I think I did the math. I think I did the math on that. If we could pick 65 teams, right? That's $6,500.
Yep.
Right. To make 145. So yeah, I'm gonna need 6,300 from you.
Look, my accountant is listening to the podcast live, so let me see what she say about that. Because I'm gonna need 6,500 too. So that means
right. So however we do it, right? I got two on it. I got two. You find 6,300.
Okay.
And then we can go pick 65 teams to make the Final Four.
We'll figure that out.
And then we can split the 145.
We'll figure that out.
Hey, look, even if we split the 145, we still come out on top.
Right. Yeah. Listen, man, that go a long way. I like the strategy on that.
Hey, man, look at here. That's crazy odds to me. That's nuts.
So I want to
pick 65 teams. That's every team in the tournament.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that's easy money right there. I mean, that's
sound like it.
I want to talk about something real quick, if you don't mind. I'm gonna throw a little curveball at you. So I follow Dion on Instagram, and he everywhere. Dion everywhere. And at this point, I'm tired of all the talking, and I don't care about the locker room. I want to see what the product look like on the field. So I got their schedule up on the field. I mean, on the screen right now. First game, and actually, let me preface this way. You tell me, just say win or loss when I go through this. I just want to see your thoughts on what this record is going to look like next season.
So I'm gonna be upfront and honest with you. I don't know that conference at all, but I'll play a game though. Let's go.
All right. Well, you do know this team. You might not know what's coming back, but you know they're still gonna have a pretty good team. First game right out the gate, they play at TCU.
That's a loss.
All right. At home against Nebraska. Nebraska got a new coach. Offense is stale.
That's a win.
Me and you probably could play wide receiver. We got a year eligibility left.
Yeah, that's a win.
They play
1-1.
Yeah, Colorado State at home.
2-1.
2-1. At Oregon.
2-2.
USC at home. USC got a squad coming back next year too. They got a nice little squad.
So based off a name alone, I'm gonna say 2-3.
Yeah. At Arizona State, new head coach. They fired Hearn.
Okay, 3-3.
I don't know if this is so. Stanford they play at home against Stanford. Stanford's one of those schools, kind of like a BYU. They usually have like every 3 to 4 years they stockpile a whole bunch of like grown men like that'll be there.
So I'm gonna go with Colorado on this one.
Yeah.
Based off swag alone.
Gotcha.
4-3.
This program's heading in the right direction. At UCLA. That's a tough one.
It is. I feel like 7 games in, I think that game might come down to Deion coaching, like his coaching ability.
Yeah, could be. I know they got some talent. Transfer portal wise, I don't know what they got coming in, but UCLA got a squad.
I'll give them the BOD. I give them 5-3.
All right. Oregon State play at home against Oregon State.
6-3. Okay.
Play at home against Arizona. I think Arizona's still they coming. They're not there yet though.
7-3.
At Washington State, that one could be tricky because that could be a night game.
Yeah, I think I've seen them play. I think their coach is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say 7-4 on that one.
Now this last one, I'm gonna go ahead and just give you the loss on this one. They played last game on Thanksgiving at Utah.
You want to give me the loss on that one?
Yeah. Listen, you want to talk about grown men?
Okay, 7-5.
Yeah. So, that's pretty
bowl
good.
eligible.
Yes, bowl eligible. Yeah. Nowadays, 5.
And you got to think of.
And
so the thing about that is, so obviously this is Deion's first year, right? He's in a tougher conference.
Yep.
But he's playing with players that are not like his whole the whole roster there is not his.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be. He still got some holes to plug, and I'm pretty sure if he don't get it plugged this year, he'll get it plugged. I'm gonna say that I'll give Deion a 3-year grace period to transform their roster into a roster that to his roster. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And at that time, then you can give him a thorough evaluation on wins and losses.
Right.
Right now, he's just not there.
Yeah, and it takes
one thing. The last thing I'll say on that is Colorado. And I want to say this. I'm trying to be Eric Pannell on this one, right? Like Colorado brought him in, so he was successful at Jackson State. They brought him in off the hype factor, right? And the Deion effect has already taken hold in that building, in that state,
yes, in
that area, right?
Yeah.
Their spring game averages 17,000 fans.
Crazy.
I think he's already doubled that, right? He sold out the field, which is 60,000 people, right? They already and the ticket sales, they're sold out for every game this year already, right?
Yeah.
So the Deion effect is already there when it comes to revenue, right? And when you look at that, and he gets to recruit, he gets to put that in his toolkit when he go recruit. Like I said, he'll give him 3 years, man, to get that roster, to get the players that suit him and his style of coaching, offensively and defensively, and then see where they at.
Yeah, I think 7-5 is where you land. I mean, 7-5 will definitely give him a boost in recruiting right there. And then if they're exciting, they got a wide open offense, they got people throwing the ball in the field, and I mean that right alone will attract. A lot of people don't want to go to Colorado unless you're into the legal marijuana thing. But you know what I'm saying. But it's I just don't see. I hope he stays there for the long haul. You know what I'm saying?
I think they were 2-10 last year, right? Or 1-11, something like that.
Yeah. Still is high.
They were nuts.
Still is real high.
They were ridiculous. Yeah. So,
7-5 is great.
As long as he does better than that, it's a win.
Yeah, still is high, really high. So, and then to your point, I'm looking at ESPN for that Nebraska game, the second game of the season, which is their first home game. Ticket is as low as $264, $246.
That's low. That's you talk about. So I come from an era where nosebleed tickets was $10.
Right.
I can sit way up here for $10.
Right.
You mean tell me I can't sit up here no more unless I got $275?
Not at a primetime game,
I ain't got it, bro. I can't do it. I ain't got it. $275 to sit way up there.
Yeah.
Watch the game. Yeah. Watch the game on the jumbotron like I'm at home on my television.
Yeah.
Pass on that.
Well, look,
I'll
man,
pass on that.
we got to go ahead and close out, man, because I'm about to go get me a nap before this game starts.
You got
9:20.
45 minutes.
Jeez, man. God. I mean, come on, man. Take me a nap.
Hey, you know what? I call it. Hey, you know what? Before we got the phone, man, hey, Greg, since you listening, dog, I'm gonna give you I apologize to you live Zone podcast, right?
Oh.
So my man Greg said he was listening to the podcast while getting his workout on the Peloton, so he couldn't get in the comments.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was talking to Siri when he texted us. So I'm gonna let you ride on that one, dog. Appreciate you, man, for giving us being a loyal listener. Appreciate you, dog.
Way to be versatile, Greg. Talking to Siri on the Peloton. I see you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, technology, man. You know.
Hey, my man, versatile.
OG money down there, you know. Hey, man. Hey, that dude texted me. Hey, look, I'm on the bike.
Yeah. I mean, way to be versatile, Greg. Get it in.
I hear you, man. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, man. It is what it is, man. Like I said, I'm excited to watch Colorado. And I ain't even that weather out there, bro. I couldn't do it in person, but I could definitely do it from the comforts of my home. In the cool AC or heat. I could do that.
Definitely gonna be some interesting games out there. You know, I hope he gets used to that.
Boy, we'll see. We shall see.
Yeah. He said 2 riding during podcast. I hear you, Greg. I hear you. Hey, man, shout out to everybody that joined, man. Brad, Marcus. Marcus, you still can't guard me, man. JT, everybody. Definitely appreciate it, man. So, as always, definitely chime in. Any topics you guys want to talk about, we'll be here again next week, 7:15. And what else you got, man? Take us home.
Hey, man, appreciate you guys for spending some time with us, man. It's always a pleasure. As always, you can join the conversation via the Facebook group. If you get us on Apple Podcasts, make sure you leave us a review. You can also get us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, man. Just tune in and give us some feedback. Help us be better for the next episode. Shout outs to our sponsors, Appliance Medic, Face Consulting Process. Appreciate you guys. And you know, if you want to see us, visually, you can catch us on YouTube. What you got? That Doug Williams?
Wait, we gotta get a jersey check over here, dog.
Man, appreciate. Hey, dog. You know Jersey Tech? Oh, there it is.
There it is.
You see it. Let me get this out your way real quick.
There you go.
That is over there. You see it on the wall. Hey, speaking of which, let's not no disrespect to my guy. You see what I'm saying? No disrespect to my guy.
Super Bowl champion on the wall up there, man.
Oh, absolutely. First one to do it as African American.
Where's your Mark Rippon jersey at? Great.
Didn't make the cut. Didn't make the cut. Didn't make the cut at all.
Look, I know if somebody's still listening, I know some jokes about to come in the chat.
Hey, no Joe Theismann. Hey, nope, didn't make the cut at all. Sorry. Apologize. Don't talk about. Hey, man, I'm unapologetically me.
There it is.
Right?
There it is.
I support us always. Always a fair.
You gonna be able to stay up tonight and watch the game, man?
Absolutely. I just got off work, technically.
Okay. I'm about to take a nap.
You ain't.
No,
you about to go eat dinner.
I put these dogs up, about to get them out of my ears. I'm going to sleep.
They got you a little bit, man. They got you on something. You ain't had dinner yet. Yes, sir. But yeah, man. Appreciate y'all, man, as always.
No doubt.
See y'all next week.
All right. Peace.